Recently, I received an email from one of our readers. She remembered that her father had mentioned leaving her as a beneficiary in a life insurance policy years ago. Well, recently he passed away. She knew nothing else about the policy, so she asked me if there was some way to track down whether that policy did in fact exist and how to get her money. To help us avoid these kinds of situations, we've invited Michelle Perry Higgins to join us on the Dollar Stretcher interview. Hi, I'm Gary Foreman, editor of thedollarstretcher.com. With me today is Michelle Perry Higgins. She's a financial planner and principal of California Financial Advisors in San Ramon. Since 1996, she's built a successful practice advising executive professionals into retirement. She's appeared on CNBC, CBS, and quoted in Yahoo Finance, MSN Money, the Los Angeles Times, Examiner.com, and the Wall Street Journal as well. Michelle is also on the internet at michelleperryhiggins.com, and she's recently created something called the Everything Finder. Michelle, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Gary.
Michelle, let's start with my email reader. Can money be lost if a family member dies without leaving the proper paperwork behind?
Unfortunately, that's what happens is a lot of insurance policies, assets are never found, which is why it's so important to document these assets before you pass away so your heirs can find these assets. They're not lost. We just need to make sure that they're accurately documented and passed on.
Now, why do you think it is? Because it seems like so many people, I remember back when I was a broker, so often I'd see cases where someone would pass away and they had not left that behind. What do you think it is that keeps people from assembling the important papers?
I really believe people are afraid if they write it down, they're going to pass away. And so I've had many clients say to me, Michelle, I just don't want to take the time to do it, but I also am scared once I write all this down, I'm gonna pass away. And so I think it's really twofold. There's a bit of procrastination there, and also folks are scared to really sit down and go through all this.
Is there a way to get people past that?
Making it as easy as possible. And so that's the key, is people need to find, okay, what is the best, most efficient way in which I can document everything for my family that isn't going to put this tremendous strain on me? And so once you figure that out, is how can I document all of my information in one place, in a place that they can actually find it, not putting it in a safe and then failing to give them the safe code, or putting it on your computer and then never giving them access to your computer, which also happens often in this technology world. We need to put it in a place where they can actually find the information.
Yeah, you hear about that more and more now, where people don't have the passwords of their parents' computers, or know where the key to the safe deposit box is.
Right.
And right. Now, what kind of documents should generally be inventoried? Or can they be categorized?
Yes. So really, I try to break them into, let's say our assets, all of our banking accounts, our liabilities, and then we get into all the other things besides your assets and liabilities, which is, what do I do with the pets? What are truly my final funeral arrangements? And not as simple as just, I want to be cremated or I want to be buried here in this plot. It's, what do I want to wear? Where do I want donations? Writing letters to loved ones. For business owners, it's really important to write down who is your key manager, where are the passwords to all the important documents for the business, documenting any insurance policies. I would also, there's a whole section that I like to have folks include that's really putting all of their marriage certificates, their deeds to their home, all those important documents also in one location, passports. And so, and don't forget important contacts. Who's your attorney? Who's your State Farm agent? Because again, your heirs need to call all of these people when you pass. So make it easy for them.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know a lot of people tend to think that this is really only for somebody who, is acquiring senior citizen status, but that's not really true. It's pretty much true for everybody who's an adult, correct?
Absolutely. This is a document. If you think about, we are in a technologically driven world today. And back in the good old days, it was so easy to, we just threw everything in a filing cabinet. If you passed away, it was there. That's not the case. And so we need for maybe someone who's in their 20s, they have, as you probably know, all the social media apps that need to be shut down. We need the passwords to those. We need the bank accounts, their beginning stages to their 401ks, insurance policies they might already have at their new companies. So even folks might feel, oh, I don't have a lot of money to pass on. I don't need to fill this out, but you do. There are assets and there are parts to your life that need to be passed on to someone you love.
Now, I know, here on the Dollar Structure, we're fairly active do-it-yourselfers. We like to try to do things ourselves and save some money, but it strikes me that there's an awful lot involved here and it'd be very easy to overlook something.
Yeah, and that's why I created the Everything Binder. Is I, for many years being in practice, was urging my clients. I'd give them a binder with a few tabs in, and I said, okay, go do this. Here's my concept. I want you to just write it all down. And they'd look at me with the deer in the headlights look, like, what are you asking for, Michelle? And how am I going to do all this? And I would find they did a pretty darn good job in creating their own type of binder. But, there is so much information that needs to be compiled to make it a all-encompassing document, that there are some really good tools out there that can help folks, and they're inexpensive.
Mm-hmm. Now, and I understand that that's available through your website, correct?
Yes, on MichellePerryHiggins.com.
Okay, we'll create a link from the video here and the article that we surround the video with to that. Thank you for spending some time with us today on what really is a much more important topic than a lot of people give it credit for.
Thanks, Gary. I appreciate you having me.
And we want to thank our visitors for watching this today and encourage you to visit Michelle's site, MichellePerryHiggins.com. Visit us on thedollarstretcher.com, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video. We'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks a lot.